Hello, I'm Ebru, Avartes Global and Resilience for Growth Program Coordinator. As Avartes, we want to support you on achieving your goals by introducing this video on shifting your everyday mindset to a self-mastery one. And to do so, we have three Avartes partners to share a real-life story, a model, and some everyday practical tips. First is Ad. Ad is a coach, team coach, and leadership teacher and speaker. Before starting Avartes, he was leading large global HR teams in different industries. He shares that he learned late about leadership and self leadership, and one of his big drivers today is supporting and encouraging the people he works with to accelerate their learning, and by doing so, living fulfilling and happy lives. Welcome, Ed.
Thank you.
Next is Agatha. Agatha holds a doctorate in workplace psychology from George Washington University in the US and is a master certified coach from ICF. She is co-creating high performance with clients via neuroscience, NLP, positive psychology, and network IQ. Over the years, she has delivered projects in 40 countries. Welcome, Agatha.
Thank you, Ebru.
Finally, we have Bernard. Bernard, a medical doctor and a seasoned leadership executive, is a pioneer practitioner and advocate of leadership based on mindfulness, trust, and purpose. He has a wide and deep professional experience, having worked in blue chip and startup, biotech, and pharmaceutical companies over 20 years. Welcome, Bernard.
Thank you, April.
Let's begin. So, Ad, what is your experience with self-mastery?
Thank you, Ebru, for this question. Actually, I remember like yesterday when my journey towards self-mastery started. It was a Sunday, late February 2002. With our 4 kids, we had moved just 1.5 years earlier to our second international assignment in the greater Munich area. We never skied until we moved close to the mountains. That Sunday in February 2002, we were just back from our first ever 1-week ski holidays. I observed, to my very surprise, that I felt relaxed, focused, and present on a level and in a way that I had not felt since many years. Actually, the last time I did feel this way was also when I was returning from holidays. But this was in the pre-internet and the pre-24/7 time, when making a call on holidays abroad meant going to a phone somewhere, and when it was almost impossible to receive calls when traveling around. Very, very different from the nowadays we all know. And as I noticed on this day in February, this huge difference between how I felt that day and how I felt just before those skiing holidays, I decided that I was going to try and keep that wonderful sense of being relaxed, focused and present as much as possible. I literally had no clue that I was starting a journey that I know now would last for all my life and would bring incredible benefits. I had no clue that actually I was beginning my very own travels towards self-mastery. Actually, I even didn't know the word self-mastery. But like any journey, it was this first insight and the following first small steps that changed my life for the good. Not that it all came natural or was easy, the contrary, but I will share with you later in this video. Now it's an honor to introduce our partner Agatha Dulnik to you, who has developed, based on science and on deep global experience, a model for and actually also a journey towards self-mastery that she will explain to you.
Thank you so much, Ad. It's a delight to be able to share this model with you. But before we start this journey of everyday mindset to self-mastery, let's explore what this everyday mindset is so you can appreciate what happens when you're on the other side of the spectrum. I take you back when you were a child. You listened to your teachers. You listened to your parents, to other authority figures, religion. All of them we're putting messages into you as to how the world views, operates from their point of view. These messages we're sinking in. And in psychology, they became operating principles. In neuroscience, they became programs. Fast forward to where most of us are, whatever age you are right now. Most of us still operate every day with these programs, basic assumptions, still ringing in their subconscious, conscious mind. That's about 70% of us, would you believe? So that's everyday mindset. But some people are lucky enough to go to work where they get fantastic training. Others are lucky enough to leave their homes, or maybe not, are lucky enough to move to other countries to get exposure to different cultures. And they think, maybe mine is not the only way, because as they get feedback from the environment, which says we do it differently, they begin the process of self-assessment for accuracy and wanting to adjust to their environment the best they can. They learn self-management. This is the result I got first time. This is where I want to be congruent with my environment. Therefore, I'll change. Again, in the learning paradigm, it's called single loop learning. Cause, effect, change in the middle. This is self-management. People are able all of a sudden to manage themselves in order to better fit with their environment. And that's fantastic. That's growth. But some people go even further than that. They begin to self-assess on an ongoing basis. Is this the only way to look at things? Are others do it differently and perhaps better? So with this self-assessment comes self-awareness, expanded self-awareness. And they begin to question their assumptions as being the only ones that are appropriate. In learning paradigm, again, this is called double loop learning, which means from point A, you begin to question the assumptions to get to a better point B. Double loop learning, self-leadership, where you influence yourself, your moods, your emotions, your level of motivation in order to get better results, even better results. But some people don't stop there either. They go to a place where mindfulness becomes one of their operating principles. What is this mindfulness? Observing, being in touch with the reality as it is, with no judgment. It is about observation and learning for the sake of learning, which is triple loop learning in learning paradigm. Mindfulness is about being in congruence. With that, for some, comes self-discipline. So I'm going to be the best I can be at any point in time. I am going to show up authentic. I am going to be in sync with my environment. Always authentic, always in sync. And that's what we call self-mastery. Triple loop learning, learning about the learning, freedom of being yourself and being okay with the world around you. So with this explanation of the model as we see it, with the journey from everyday mindset to self-mastery, I'm passing on back to Ed to tell us more about the journey he has made.
Thank you, Agatha. And looking at the very insightful model that you just shared, at that moment in February 2002, I was in a state of everyday mindset. You know, I started paying attention and reflecting, basically because I was very moved by the experience that happened to me. But it led to the fact that for the very first time, I consciously started to take responsibility for my well-being and the underlying behaviors. I looked as honestly as was possible for me into my behaviors, my attitudes, my actions, and there were so many things to learn. I know now that it was really good that I was not only brutally honest, but also gentle with myself. I understood at that moment that realizing that I got quite a few things wrong in my life did not mean that I was a failure. It just meant that I had the opportunity to make adjustments. Slowly but surely, it also became clear to me that next to my physical, there was also my mental, emotional, and spiritual self to take care of. I had to learn that I had to learn, and I had to learn how I best could learn. Nowadays, I notice when I feel happy or bothered or tired, and I know how to respond. Music has become my companion in all my activities. I have also learned that being out in the mountains is a better place to take care of my spiritual soul than any church. I've learned that alcohol is bad for me, so I stopped. And the best is that I have never been so clear of my passion, how I want to live and who I want to be. To be fair, I cannot say that I don't have fallbacks. Of course they are there. But since I've learned to do what is important for me, most of the days I can handle these. And an insight that really helped me was that I knew that I am disciplined, but that I focused my discipline entirely on my work, not on myself, not on my family, not on my friends. So starting to use that very same discipline, not only for work, but also for all the other aspects of my life, was literally the key that unlocked my journey towards self-mastery. And what is beautiful and encouraging is that we don't have to plan the entire journey. We just have to start with small steps. I proudly introduce to you our partner, Bernard Kouwmans, who joined us at Vartus recently. And Bernard is going to share with you the small steps he has made to become the CEO of his life.
Thank you, Art, for the introduction. Do you know those days? You have all the best intentions, a good idea of how your day should go. And then 8 hours later, you ask yourself, where has this day gone? I had many of those mind-numbing business days in my life until I changed a few things that I now call my 5 wonderful companions. And they help me to keep myself healthy and happy every day. And the best is they are so easy to adapt that you can even try them yourself. So what are the 5 companions? The first is start your day with a morning ritual. Don't just stumble into your day. Start it mindful with a short morning ritual. For me, starting the day with a good cup of green tea, some breathing exercises on the balcony, and about 10 minutes of yoga gives me the energy to start my day mindful and positive. The second thing is smile into your day. You know, happiness is not in the body, happiness is in the mind. So try it and treat yourself with a smile every time you stand in front of a mirror, for example. You can try that even in the morning when you brush your teeth, you look in the mirror. And if you don't like what you see at this time of the day, it's even better because it gives you a good laugh. And with the laugh, a very nice rush of positive neurohormones. The third is focus on the big rocks. How often do you get clarity on what's really important? And I don't mean the things that are urgent and pressing. I mean the things that are really important. So try this. close your eyes for 30 seconds. Take 3 deep and calm breaths. And now ask yourself, what is the most important for you today? This is what I call the big rocks. The fourth is overcoming mind wandering. Your mind is everywhere. The Zen monks have a word for that. They call that the monkey mind. And it means the mind is like wild monkeys jumping around all the time. And this is natural because it's a kind of default mode of our brain when we are not focusing deeply on something, that the thoughts just come. Only 10 minutes of meditation a day can really make a difference here and can help the mind and you to overcome this mind wandering and refocus more quickly. The fifth and last, I call the magic of flight mode. Stopping to re-energize is life-saving. But we often struggle. We struggle to get off the last email, the last message, the last LinkedIn post, and so on. This impacts our sleep, it impacts our re-energizing, and finally, it can learn for us to burn out. Try flight mode. We all know it from the plane. You go on a plane and you switch off your devices. Why not do the same, for example, when you come home and sit down for dinner? It might sound awkward, but it's not only doable. I'm doing that, and I have done it through more than the last 10 years in my business life. And just trying it and see what happens is amazing. Give it a try. It's so relaxing, it's so re-energizing, and it helps you for a very much better sleep quality. And now I want to hand over back to Ebru.
Thank you, Bernard. Listening to the partners, the story, the model, and the practices, you can see one thing in common. Self-mastery takes time, yet it all ends with you. Your awareness, discipline, and dedication to learning are your most powerful tools. Be patient, be consistent, and be persistent. Now, while ending this video, we have Agata again to reflect on some coaching questions.
Thank you, Ebru. So the first question to ask yourself is, taking you back to when you were 8 years old and all seemed possible. When you look at your life right now from that perspective, how does it seem to you? What would you be really proud of? What would you wish had gone differently? And what would you want to change from now on to reconnect with the 8-year-old child in you? Second question is, how would your life change if you lived unaffected, oblivious to the opinions of others? What one personal change would lead to the most powerful benefits for you? What is that one small step you can take towards it in 2023? What do you need to say no to in order to protect your very own self? How can you be grateful for what you have while still working towards what you want? Ponder on this. Take whatever comes. Be happy with yourself and grow.
Thanks, Agata. And we're all back. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for being with Avartis. Add anything you want to add?
Every day is a good day to start your journey.
Agata?
Have a lovely time reconnecting with yourself and coming up with your personal best.
Bernard?
Self-mastery starts with mindfulness. Become mindful about yourself.
Take care, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.